Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 334 of our trip around the United States. We have reached the sunny shores of Northern California and we are ready to take on the very final stretch of this journey that we've taken across the entire contiguous United States. We have only 4 counties remaining in California and none of them will be touching today. For today's route, we'll be covering 250 miles along the coast of California. We're starting our day off here in Crescent City, and we have a lot of targets to check out here in the city. But once we finish those off, we'll begin working our way south, all the way along the coast, stopping off for lots of virtuals, earth caches, and other interesting targets, all the way until we get to Eureka. So the thing is, a huge chunk of our 250 miles for the day had us going into Oregon to finish off 2 remaining pages that we already did last night. So we're gonna fly through this route today and have some extra time. With a little bit of luck, we'll be able to follow through with the remaining pages we have in this corner of California so that we can make our long jump into Sacramento. I'm not sure if we're gonna have the time to do that. Oh, but we sure could use one more day of rest before we take off into the Sierra Nevada mountain range. I'm looking forward to getting to experience all the coast has to offer today, and with a little bit of luck, finishing a little bit ahead of schedule too. So let's get out there and see what the shores of Northern California have in store for us. Come on, let's go.
Welcome back to California, the last state standing between us and the completion of our goal. We enter the North Coast, also often referred to as the Redwood Coast, from Oregon. This North Coast region, which consists of 5 counties, is one of the least populated in the state, with less than 1 million people living here. It extends all the way from the windswept beaches of Del Norte, all the way south to the Marin Headlands overlooking San Francisco Bay. This is a quiet place where you can enjoy beautiful views out over the coast without all the crowds. We officially kick things off from Crescent City with a population of about 6,600 people. This city, named for the crescent-shaped stretch of beach just south of the city, is not only the county seat of Del Norte County, but it's also the only incorporated city within the county. After only a very short time here, I come to the unmistakable conclusion that this is a hidden gem of California. A place where people go to retire, serenaded by the sound of the ocean. There are a total of 5 virtual caches spread around Crescent City, from the shores of the Pacific Ocean, running along Beachfront Park, and right through the middle of the downtown area. We really can't help but to learn a few things along the way, like the fact that tetrapods, the large wave-dissipating concrete blocks found on beaches across the United States, were first tested here in 1955. A great place for it, considering the susceptibility to tsunamis. Overlooking the treacherously rocky coast, we visit the Brother Jonathan Cemetery, erected in honor of the lives lost aboard the Brother Jonathan on July 30th of 1865. Battered by stormy seas, the ill-fated, steam-driven side paddle wheeler went down 4 miles off the point of St. George. Only 19 of those aboard ever made it back to shore, with over 200 lives lost in the storm, making it the single worst shipping disaster to ever occur on the Pacific coast. Never one to pass up an opportunity to check out a new Veterans Memorial. We pay a visit to the Point of Honor, dedicated on July 13th of 2019. A 5-pointed star is emblazoned into the ground at the center of the memorial, with a flag at each point of the star flapping in the breeze. Inside of the star, 5 obelisks stand tall, one for each branch of the military. The wall to one side bears the names of more than 40 veterans who have fallen in the line of duty, including that of Captain Bruno de Saleni, killed on his 4th tour in Afghanistan. Continuing to follow the shoreline south through Crescent City, we come up to the top of Vista Mound at the Battery Point Vista area. I only came out to this point to complete an earth cache, but as I'm making my observations and looking out over the coast, I can't help but to notice that the tide is out and there's a lot of shore exposed.
Oh man, we are really in luck this morning. I'd put Battery Point Lighthouse on the schedule because there's a virtual out there at the lighthouse, but you can only access it at low tide because that's the only time that you can get on the land bridge. I never really expected to be able to do it because the timing on that is rather difficult, but as you can see, tide is out, path is cleared, and we're gonna take a walk straight up to the Battery Point Lighthouse. Let's do this.
Before heading across the temporarily exposed land bridge, I check the tide charts just to be sure Aichan and I won't be stuck out here, and sure enough, the tide is still going out. We are a go. Constructed in 1953, this 45-foot tall lighthouse is one of the very first for the state of California. Its oil lamps first shone out across the California coast on December 10th of 1856 and has remained in operation for more than 160 years since. It has, of course, seen quite a bit of change in that time, including becoming automated in 1953. And it was built to last. Even after being struck by a tsunami following the 1964 Alaska earthquake, it was still standing guard over the shore. Heading out of Crescent City, we take the highway south through Del Norte Coast Redwoods State Park along 8 miles of wild Pacific coastline. For the entirety of this stretch, the road goes up and down with the rise and falls of the hills, all the way from sea level to over 1,200 foot in elevation. And we stop off at every single overlook, enjoying their unique perspectives out over the coast. Out of the state park, and for our next visit, we visit the Trees of Mystery, which has been in operation since 1946, educating, entertaining, and introducing visitors from all over the world to the awesome, awe-inspiring natural treasures of the Redwood Forest. At the entrance, Paul Bunyan, standing at over 49 feet tall, accompanied by his loyal companion Babe, beckons visitors to come see these natural giant treasures for themselves. There is quite a bit to see here, but after saying hello to our new friends, we get on the road once again.
The best part of these adventures for Aichan is all the unique smells. And these flowers definitely offer one of those. She really wants to get involved in all these flower beds, but I have to make sure she doesn't go stomping through them while she's enjoying all the scents they give her.
Just before crossing over Klamath River into Redwood National Park, we come into the very small city of Klamath, with a population of only about 600 people. Unsurprisingly, we are here in pursuit of a virtual, where we learn about Captain Courageous, a crossbred steer who survived the flood of 1964 that wiped away the rest of the town. Then we come across a very mysterious tree indeed, but which one of these do you think it might be?
I think we should stop, take a moment to appreciate what's actually happening here. This looks like a bunch of trees, right? When in reality, this is just one tree. It's unreal.
At Trinidad Bay Memorial Park, we visit a monument remembering the lives of 276 people who've been lost over the last century. It features the names of 251 people who were buried at sea and 25 people who were lost at sea, never to be recovered. With all the virtuals we've been pursuing this morning, I think that it's well past time that we track down a few physical geocaches to be able to add our names to. There is nothing quite like tracking down an ammo can hidden behind a tree to remind us that we're actually out here to find geocaches, not just sightseeing.
We have absolutely blown through the miles today. We've got one last view of the coast here, and then we have to turn inland and start on to tomorrow's route. With a little bit of luck, we'll be able to get to the portion where we're driving into Sacramento by the time the sun goes down. So let's see if we can finish off all of the pages on the west side of the state now.
Enjoying our final views of the California coast, we come into McKinleyville in Humboldt County with a population of about 15,000 people. McKinleyville settlement first began in the 1860s as a series of smaller settlements, including Dow's Prairie, Minorville, and Calville. It wasn't until after the assassination of President William McKinley in 1901 that Minorville changed its name to McKinleyville in his honor. All three communities grew together over the passage of time until they collectively became known together as McKinleyville. Shooting straight through the center of town, we are shocked by the sight of the McKinleyville totem pole, towering toward the heavens.
I present to you the world's largest totem pole at a whopping 160 feet. Look at that thing go!
As soon as we began trekking inland, I come across a sight that I've been waiting this entire trip to see, the giant redwood forests. These are the tallest and largest trees to be found anywhere in the world, with some of them towering well over 350 feet. And these ancient beings have been around on the earth far longer than humans, with the first ones appearing over 240 million years ago. I really love geocaching in the woods, but walking amongst these giants takes it to a whole new level. We walk amongst the living giants and hunt through the husks of the fallen to find the treasure we seek. I am also fascinated by the near complete lack of undergrowth in this forest, making it an easy trek from the car out into the woods to hunt down this ammo can. Now well into our route for the following day, we ascend into the coastal mountain range, traversing through the nearly 1 million acre Mendocino National Forest. This is where we had cut the northward trek of our route through California back in February because the coastal mountain range is no joke, with elevations reaching up to 8,000 feet. This is also the only national forest to be found anywhere in the state without a major paved road passing through it. We definitely made the right decision to take on this forest later in the year. Even our late arrival into this part of the state was still not quite enough though. We were able to make it far enough to find the last DeLorme qualifiers that we needed, but after that, the road ahead of us was closed. We enjoyed the magnificent view while we prepared ourselves to turn around and head back.
Whew. That's gonna do it for our time spent in the northwest corner of California. We began our morning in Crescent City, running the pages along the coast and just enjoying the breezes off the Pacific Ocean all morning long. We managed to finish our routing for the day and even get ahead in for the routing for tomorrow. We pushed our way out from the coast all the way into the mountains, into the last page we need in this section of the map. Unfortunately, the pass across the mountains from here is still closed, which means we have to go all the way back out to the coast, down and around to get to Sacramento to reset for our last set of counties and pages. That's well over 200 miles and 4 hours worth of driving. So Aichan and I are going to be taking the day off tomorrow to take that drive and catch our breath to get ready for the final steps in California. Thank you guys for joining us on this tour along the coast and coming into the Redwoods. Like this video, subscribe, stay tuned for updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.